has headed the Department of History of Art, Banaras Hindu University for 3 terms, and after retirement he was appointed as Professor Emeritus in the same department. His publications deal extensively with different aspects of Indian art and iconography, especially Jaina art. His books include Jaina Prativijnan, Hindi, Elements of Jaina Iconography, Ambika in Jaina Art and Literature, Gajraho Ka Jaina Puratattva in Hindi, Jaina Kala Tirtha Diyogar in Hindi, Madhya Kalina Bharatiya Murtikala in Hindi, and Madhya Kalina Bharatiya Pratimakala, Pratimala Lakshana in Hindi, Jaina Art and Aesthetics, Jaina Art and Architecture, it's an part of encyclopedia, and Kashi Ki Prachin Deva Murtiya. His academic pursuits and publications have brought several honors and awards to him. He was invited by the President of India to Rashtrapati Bhavan twice by Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma and Dr. K.R. Narayanan. He was awarded Acharya Narendra Deva Purashkar by Hindi Samajsthan, UP, Indira Gandhi National Raja Bhashya Award, Delhi, and Hemant Chandracharya Award. As recipient of Nehru Trust Fellowship, Dr. Tiwari worked in UK. He was invited and he delivered lectures at SOAS London, University of Cardiff UK, Nehru Center London, and Berlin University Germany. Presently, he is Tagore National Fellow and Chairman of Indian Art District Congress. With these words, now I invite Professor Tiwari to deliver the keynote address.
Namaskar to everybody. I start with a sort of prayer. Nat tvaham kamaye rajyam, na swargam na punarbhavam, kamaye dukkha taptanam, prani namartinashan. The title of my keynote address is already known to everybody. So I will just read out because it will save the time. And whenever it is needed, I will make some extra observations, particularly on the basis of what has been said earlier. I am grateful to the C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer Institute of Indological Research and its dynamic director, Dr. Nandita Krishnanji, and also Dr. Balaji Mohanji for organizing seminar on minor duties in Indian art, which indeed is very important and relevant subject. I feel honored for being invited to deliver keynote address, as well as I feel humble. Actually speaking, so far we have mainly concentrated, as has rightly been said, on the study of principal cultic deities, Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Surya, even the Jain Tirthankaras, Buddha, and their iconography, visual renderings. But very little is done on other deities like Ashtadikpalas. Who are they? She has talked about the upgradation of different deities, Dr. Nandita ji. And here we find degradation. The Agni, the Vayu, the Indra, Kuber, they were once during the Vedic times very most important deities. And only Surya could sustain and remain throughout popular because of its essentiality down to the present day. And now we know very little has been studied about them. Navagrahas, she has already mentioned. Gandharva, Mohanji had mentioned different categories of the deities, Jyotish, Bhuvanvasi, and all that, which included hundreds of deities. Hundreds of deities are there, and they are only referred to in passing, in association with some or the other main deities, but no independent study has so far been done on that. Gandharv, Kichak, very important in architectural context, Vidyadharas, Kinnar, the Kumaris, Ashwini Kumaras, the two sons of Surya, then Chandra, Surya is popular but not Chandra, we find only 2-3 independent images of Chandra. Revant, river goddesses even, I tell you, Dhanavantari, Manu, Apsaras, and the folk deities like Nag-Nagi. The Nag-Nagi, we all know, were associated with all the deities of different sects or cults, be it Shiv, be it Vishnu, and be it Buddha or be it Jain Tirthankar, Parshunal, Suparshunal. Because they were representing the folk or the Lok Puja. And unless we accept the Lok to which they belong, you cannot broaden your sphere so far as the worshippers or devotees are concerned. Gana, Bhutas, and also as I am going to talk about Shitala as a model, giving the methodology how when we take up the minor deities one by one, what should be our methodology and how to proceed to bring out their real importance in the present context, because most of them are relevant or being worshipped, which is very much in vogue even today. Shitala is one of them. Shashti Devi, then Parnashabari, Manasa, and many more. Hence, present seminar is well thought, important, and welcome beginning in the direction of the inclusive, exclusive study of minor deities, which we are affiliated to different faiths, as I have already pointed out, and represented with all the. We find the figures of the Gandharvas, the Vidyadharas, the Kinnaras, with all the principal deities, Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Jain Tirthankar, Buddha, with all of them. So they were so important that they became almost all pervading. But still, very little is known about them. So the present subject of the seminar becomes very, very important. And it is going to open a new area of study to know better our history, Indology, and also several deities of the pantheon. They are also carved on the Indian temples, Kichak, very important, and in association with almost all the principal deities. Now one thing, I think instead of minor deities, because minor I have tried to find out in the dictionary, means not very big or important. They were important, but somehow, how a thing becomes important? In itself, nothing is important. The importance is given by the society, by us, by devotees, by worshippers. I think the better affiliation may be Upadevatas or subsidiary or associate deities. This is what I propose in this context. Hence, their independent and holistic study is essential to bring out their concept, role, iconography, and visual renderings. Now, another point, while coming to Shitala. Shitala was the pacifying goddess. Usually it is said that Shitala is the goddess of smallpox. She causes smallpox. Usually in Varanasi we have several temples of Shitala. It is presently worshipped so popularly. Of course, as a folk goddess. But she is presented as if she is causing the affliction. But it is not like that. From the very beginning, Indian tradition has been concerned with diseases and its treatment for overall wellness of mankind. More about the children. The texts like Charak and Sushruta Samhitas of early centuries of Christian era bear testimony to this. It means health care was key concern of rishis and saviors. The earliest physician Dhanvantari, coming out of the churning of the ocean, उनकी पूजा होती है before Deepavali on the occasion of Dhanvantari Puja is very popular. In North India, I do not know about the South India. Do we have Dhanvantari Puja? No. And Dhanvantari. Achha, you have the shrine. It's important. Is the example of health concern. The twin sons of sun god Surya, Ashwini Kumaras, horse face they are represented, are said to be the earliest Vaidyas, physicians of Indian tradition. The medicinal properties she has already mentioned of Surya's rays and these being the main source of infusing medical property to plants and trees are also relevant to know in this context. So this was our prime concern of the health care. And therefore so many deities we find. Surya is there, is at the center. But the other deities are also there who are treated as associate deities, or we may call Upadevatas. I shall now discuss about the pacifying goddess of diseases, Shitala, in holistic perspective to present the methodology for the study of the gamut of such associate deities. Shitala has been popular in Indian tradition and art in past and even today as Lok Devi. Shitala and several other goddesses, namely Shashti, Mata, Mahamaya, Bhadrakali, Kalaratri, are related with diseases either for afflicting or for pacifying. Shitala, the controlling and cooling goddess of diseases, especially smallpox, that is Shitala Ro, was very common with the children more. Now, of course, eradicated completely, but still her worship is in vogue. In North India, and with the other name appellation, she is popular in South India as well, as she has pointed out. Is popularly worshipped, and her shrines are spread in most parts of India, in the villages, tribal areas like Bastar and other areas, and cities alike. In tribal regions, she is worshipped in symbolic form of stones, having small holes to indicate signs of smallpox, where she is called Mai, Vadi Mata, Shitala. Such stones are kept under Margosa, that is neem tree, because Margosa leaves, according to the Ayurveda, are employed in medication and natural relief for cooling to the person suffering from the disease. Now here comes that not only the formal features are important, but the very concept and also the features or the attributes which are associated with a particular deity, here in case is Shitala. What is the relevant? Nothing was arbitrary or randomly done. It was well thought. So in case of Shitala, I will point out. And therefore, the study of all such Upadevatas, it will be essential to understand first the concept and then the formal features and then their renderings and then the holistic perspective, how the give and take and where from the features were taken and where the features were given. Shitala does not figure in the Vedas and even the old medical Samhitas of Charak and Sushruta. The earliest reference to the goddess are found in the Narad, Skand and Bhavishya Puranas of about 12th, 13th century. The Narad Purana visualizes Shitala as nude, that is Digambar, and riding on donkey, that is Gardav. Rasab bhi bolte hain usko. And holding Kalash, water pitcher, and sweeping broom, that is Marjani. हम लोग लोकल उसमें झाड़ू बोलते हैं उसको सफाई के लिए. In her hands, she is invoked for curing Vispotak. Vispotak is used for Shitala, smallpox. In the Skanda Purana, the goddess is propitiated for good health of children, positive, and is referred to as a presiding goddess of diseases. She was also supposed to remove all kinds of pangs of sorrow and pains, even beyond that. I have given the reference. The Pishila Tantra of Skanda Purana conceives a three-eyed and white complexion. Three-eyed means Shaivite association. And white complexion, naked Shitala with an S mount or donkey mount and holding a water vessel. Why? For cooling the disease by sprinkling the ambrosia. This is the relevance. And a winnowing basket, that is Shurpa. According to the Sri Tattvanidhi of 16th century, the black complexion, here complexion is black, Shitala rides a donkey and wears a winnowing basket overhead in her two upper hands, while the lower ones carry a sweeping broom and water pitcher. Means three things. Winnowing basket in two hands above head, and then the sweeping broom and water pitcher. In South India, she is worshipped with different appellations such as Mariamma and Mariammai to suggest mother aspect. The Matangi and Vedugantai were the other names. The Shitala Dhyana Mantra quoted in Bhav Prakash and Nidan Deepika of Bhav Mishra of 16th century and repeated in Shitalastak. So many references. Portion of Yoga Ratnakar of 17th century. It is mentioned that the worship of goddess removes all sorts of fear and diseases. Sarva Roga Bhayapaha. Sarva Roga Bhayapaha. Not only the smallpox, and make people free from the agony of smallpox, then Vispota. So these were the main attributes, and the Shitalastak shlok is Vandeham Shitalam Devim Rasavastham Digambaram. Digambara means nude, Rasavastham means donkey mount. Marjani Kalashopetam Shurpa Langrit Mastakam. All the attributes are defined. And why these attributes? What are the relevance? That will also I will point out. To make the study complete and holistic. All her iconographic features are related to her concept and functions for cooling and controlling the diseases, especially smallpox. According to the late tradition, Shitala is one of the 7 sister goddesses who are like mother goddesses, the others being Masani, Vasanti, Mahamai, Polamade, Lamkarya and Agavani. ये हम लोग जब अभी भी आज में वर्षिप में पूजा करते हैं, then we remember all these names, which remind us of somehow the Saptamatrika's concept. On the basis of her identification with pacifying goddess of diseases and of her peculiar iconographic characteristics I have pointed out, the origin of Shitala may be traced in the fusion of forms of a number of Brahminical, Buddhist and Jain goddesses. Amalgamation. That is interesting. because she emerged only say around 12th century, 11th century, not earlier to that. The images, the textual references both. The different goddesses of the above traditions related to children and diseases were mingled into one goddess known as Shitala or by some other names as mentioned above. However, a folk cult also developed around Shitala by the 11th century, and she became popularly venerated as Lok Devi, the goddess of the masses. Most of the Upadevatas entered into the masses, were worshipped some way or the other among the masses more popularly. The goddesses showing distinct bearing on Shitala are Hariti and Parnashabari of the Buddhist, Bahuputrika and Ambika of the Jainas, and Jyeshtha, Shashti, Kalaratri, Putana, Shitaputana, Dhumavati, Chandamari, Mahakali, Mahamari, and Ambika of Vedic Puranic tradition. How? I will explain. All the above goddesses are either associated with children or have some such iconographic features which are shown with Shitala. The known archaeological examples also reinforce her popularity. Besides her domestic worship, even today we worship at least 2 times in a year. And we take stale food the next morning. And the worship is done just before a water pot. Good number of shrines and sculptures of Shitala are found mainly from North India and even, as pointed out, from South India, particularly Gujarat, that is the Surya temple of 1026 Modhera at Modhera, Vadnagar, the birthplace of Narendra Modi ji, and Sejakpur, and in Rajasthan, Osia, that is Sachika Mata temple of 1177. We have the independent figures, and in Uttar Pradesh, including Varanasi. The inscription of Samvat 1244, that is 1177, on the northern facade of Sachika Mata temple at Osia, which is in Jodhpur district of Rajasthan. It records the installation of the images of Chandika and Sachika. Sachika was again a folk goddess, along with Shitala. The name is given in the inscription, Shitala, and the image is also there. Her worship with different appellations was in vogue in Tamil Nadu and Nepal also. However, an epigraphical record dated in Nepali Samvat 512, that is CE 1392, refers to the image of Shitala along with Narayan, Ganesh, Vasuki and Gauri. Means the inclusion of Shitala gradually, upgradation she was talking about. Shitala in the Brahminical pantheon appears to have clear Shaiva features, because we find that the rendering of Shitala at Modhera, she is shown with trident and damru, associated invariably with Shiva, and also having a terrific face, frightful face on appearance. Jyeshtha in old Tamil Nigantu called Mugadi, Mauvai, Kaladi, as Jain Manadia has said, as referred to by T.A. Gopinath Rao, is provided with the crow banner and donkey vahan. Accompanied by her children, she sometimes carries a sweeping broom as well. Rao has also illustrated few medieval reliefs of Jyeshtha, which Gopinath Rao, which correspond to a great extent with above details. He further writes that the worship of Jyeshtha is now obsolete in South India, and Jane Banerjee writes that the ground lost by Jesta in her homeland, southern India, was regained by her under another appellation, that is Shitala, in the eastern and western part of India, Bengal, Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Odisha. The Vaman Puran makes Chandamari enemy of demons, Chand and Mund, which rides on an ass and is shown as naked. References I have given in the bracket. According to the Devi Mahatmya, that is Durga Shaptasati of 8th century, it is Ambika who manifests herself in different forms under different names for the protection and welfare of the world. It is Ambika. Mahakali, at the time of destruction of the cosmic sphere, assumes the form of Mahamari, who is adored as the remover of drastic calamity and all sorts of illness. Bhadrakali and Kalaratri, who afflict diseases and calamities when displeased. Kalaratri is visualized as naked and seated on a donkey also. Diti, the mother of demons, was also identified with Mukhmandika, the spirit causing pustules, which शीतला के जो छोटे छोटे दाने उसमें होते हैं शरीर में फफोले. One other goddess, Dhumavati, is venerated as one of the Mahavidyas. She is conceived in the text in widow's garb and holding winnowing fan and showing Varad Mudra. So there were so many gods having some distinctive features which were subsequently exclusively associated with Shitala, contributed to the conception of Shitala, and she emerged as an independent goddess and more popular and still more popular as a folk goddess among the common man, the common to commonest man. Thus it is apparent that Dhumavati with winnowing fan, Jesta with an ass mount and sometimes holding a sweeping broom, Kalaratri nude and with an ass mount, and Mahamari, goddess of illness and calamity, have collectively contributed to the formulation of form of Shitala, who, being the pacifying goddess of smallpox, also eradicates other diseases and fright. Sarva Roga Bhayapaham. This is important. In the images of Buddhist goddess Parnashabari, again related to controlling goddess of diseases, I will show you. We find the rendering of the small figure of Shitala riding on an ass and holding a sweeping broom. So this was the intersectarian representation or examples. Now we shall look into the relevance of her attributes, another aspect of iconographic study, to make it holistic. Her attributes or features and vahana. This is very important. The attribution of water vessel, that is Jal Kalash, to Shitala is in agreement with her name and also with the cure done by goddess. The water vessel also serves as a substitute for Shitala. The worship of Shitala may, however, be performed symbolically either before water vessel or water tank or even river. Shitalamma in South India is worshipped as a water goddess whose temple is known from Masulipattanam. The sweeping broom, the sweeping broom in her hand connotes the cleanliness and sanitation required at the time of the disease. सबसे ज़्यादा सफाई की ज़रूरत होती है, especially smallpox. बहुत परहेज करते हैं और दुनिया में मैंने देखा है, इधर भी होता होगा. The winnowing basket is also suggestive of cleanliness and reminds one of the eradication of misfortune by goddess. References दिए हुए हैं. The association of a winnowing basket with Shitala is probably responsible for taboo, still current in Gujarat and elsewhere, of not holding a winnowing basket over anybody's head. Because even in fun or sport, because it would cause smallpox or bring misfortune. An interesting tradition current almost in whole of northern India is the beating of winnowing fan or basket in the next morning after Deepavali for driving out अलक्ष्मी और दारिद्र्य poverty. बचपन में मैंने देखा और अभी भी है कि दीपावली के दूसरे दिन सूप पीटा जाता है और क्या है कि घर से दारिद्र्य को पॉवर्टी को is being removed or eradicated. On account of its association with grains, a winnowing fan becomes a symbol of abundance and fertility as well, and is hence used on certain auspicious occasions such as marriage, childbirth, etc. वो एक उसका दूसरा aspect है. Her ass mount is also beneficial in smallpox, besides other diseases. It is believed that the milk of a she-ass is useful in smallpox by way of drinking and its application on the body. ये बिल्कुल आयुर्वेद के आचार्य से मैंने डिस्कस किया है, उन्होंने कहा. It is further believed that there is hardly any possibility of the smallpox wherever asses live. In the Ayurveda, the smoke of ass dung is accepted as a medical remedy for cooling down the pain and inflammation of smallpox. It may be noted in passing that in Kada is a place in Prayagraj, earlier Allahabad, and there is a Shitala temple where a fair of asses takes place every year. Now I have given the examples I have referred to. Now I think I should go to the visuals. Instead of reading, better to show. Is the World Heritage Site we all know in Gujarat, Mehsana district. A beautiful sun temple in dilapidated position is there. Then Sabha Mandap, and then ahead of that is a very beautiful Surya Kund. Surya Kund. And in the Kund we have several small Devkulikas or the temples. Hundreds of. One is having Nataraj, one is having Sheshai Vishnu, and on one side, southern side is also very important, is a small Devkulika enshrining this figure, the figure of Shitala, riding on a Gardab, Tanki, holding a shur, winnowing basket, and you can see the trident and the Daman and the water basin. So, and not only this, in the parikar or the background, we can see 6 other goddesses. The concept that, the Matrika concept was also there. Mata means who saves us, who protects us, who is guardian to the humanity, to the mankind. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it becomes 7. So this is, to my mind, so far I could find the earliest Shitala image, independent image, enshrined in a small Devkulika, not full-fledged temple, in the Surya Kund, which is having a numerous temples, enshrining different deities. Next. Now, another figure I have referred to has the inscription which comes to 1177, 12th century. Is at Osiya. Osiya is in Jodhpur district of Rajasthan, where we have a cluster of group of small temples of 8th, 9th century. just following the Gupta period, and therefore they have not big ones, not having very big shikhar, not so many figures on their walls, although 11th century Devakulikas are also there. So it's a very important place one must visit, and important in the sense that it has not only the Brahmanical temples dedicated to Vishnu, Surya, and other deities, but also the Jain temple, or one of the earliest Jain temples of Mahavir is there. So on Satchika Mata temple, Satchika Devi was the local goddess. On one side of the wall, as I have referred, that mentioning the two other goddesses, the mention of Shitala is also given, and here you can see Shitala again riding on Gardha, holding Shurp, and here the Marjani. Marjani means the sweeping broom. It's broken, but anyway, it is Shitala. The name is also given in the inscription, it's Shitala. This is a 13th-14th century figure line drawing of the music image, that is the image of Shitala in bronze. You can see yourself, the broom is there and the Shurp is there and Gardab is there. Yes, it is in Bharat Kala Bhavan, Varanasi, and it was procured from Varanasi, and here you can see this is of 17th century. Gardab is there, the Shurp is there. The relevance of the Shurp, as I have pointed out, whenever we study any image or the form of any particular deity, the very concept and the attributes and the concept and the reasons behind rationality we have to find out, because not irrational or arbitrary attributes. If Kamdev is there, he was not shown with Trishul. Trishul was shown with Shiv, Trishul. And what does he do? Villain. But it was Kamdev. With Kamdev was what was shown? The 5 arrows of different flowers. We know the importance of flowers. And another Ikshudhanu, the bow made of sugarcane. The sweetness of love is the god of love. So here she is the goddess wherein the cleanliness was the most essential thing. Even in today in scientific term, what we say कि बीमारी में सफाई बहुत रहना चाहिए. हम उस हॉस्पिटल में गए थे, बड़ी गंदगी थी. It was very dirty. It should be very clean. अभी आप प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में मैक्स में चले गए, बहुत सब साफ था. So they knew the importance of cleanliness in case of any disease or diseases. So here again you see the same, the sweeping broom is there and Shitala. So a number of Shitala temples are in Varanasi today, but they are of 20th century. This image is a peculiar image which is found and which is in Bharat Kala Bhavan, and it is worshipped. The image of Parnashabari, you see, she is wearing the garment of Parna, means the leaves. On this side you find the god, he is Ashwini Kumar, as I have referred to, twins of Surya. Ashwini Kumar, horse-faced, and on the other side you find Shitala. So this is assimilation also, intersectarian borrowing or assimilation. Rather, instead of borrowing, we should now start using the word sharing. It will be graceful word. So this is how I wanted to tell you all that what we call minor deities or Devata or associate deities, they have their own importance, they have their own social role to play in past and in present. If Surya is there, if Vishnu is there, if Gandharva is not there, if Vidyadhar is not there, the divine impact will not come out. To add to that divinity, these were shown, and they have their own history, their importance, their concept. And most of the people confuse how to identify who is Gandharva and who is Vidyadhar. Can any student tell me? Now let me start as a teacher. As a teacher. Anyway, Gandharva will always, both will always be shown as flying, hovering posture. पैर उनका बड़ा होगा. But Gandharva will be holding some musical instrument. Always we confuse. Big scholars also. And the Vidyadhar will be holding garlands, flowers. So this is the difference. So with this, what I have tried to say is that SHITALA is just one example of a gamut of a number of such associate Upadevatas or Upadevis who are to be studied, and for which this seminar is being organized by this institute, very old institute. And it is a really welcome and very relevant beginning. And I hope that the new upcoming students, scholars will take it up along with the senior ones. And whatever we can do, we should try to give. And you should also start trying to give. But to give only after learning, after getting into the total spirit, getting the holistic spirit of inclusive excellence. These three words are very important. Holistic, interactive, and exclusive inclusive. So with this, I offer my heartfelt thanks for inviting me and giving me this great opportunity to be here and to say whatever I could learn, whatever I could understand. Thank you very much. Answer to your first query is very simple. Actually, the question, we all are at the present. We talk of globalization, world is a village, but we have narrowed down our concept. Therefore, it looks somewhat surprising to know of such intersectorial interaction. It was so open. They were interacting with each other. Bahuputrika Yakshi is there, as well as Ambika is there. She is also having two sons. Bahuputrika to Ambika, Jain, Yakshambika, two sons. Hariti, two sons. So, mother concept. The basics, they were just apart from being an independent cult. So far as the basics were concerned, they were sharing with each other. They were sharing. And this sharing was very, very natural. And it looks somewhat surprising to us because we have stopped sharing. We have stopped. We have narrowed down actually. राजपथ पे नहीं चल रहे हैं, हम लोग गलियों में चल रहे हैं. छोटे छोटे से शव में भी अब 10 ठो हो जाएंगे और एक दूसरे के प्रति एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी नहीं है. One thing. Second point is, so far as the masses and its reaction or action was concerned, whatever we know through the texts, because that past comes, only two sources we have: the texts, words, or the visual renderings in art, figures on the temples or independent temples. So on the basis of that only we know, because the masses are also represented, masses are shown. Just I take the example of this Surikund. It was an exclusive sun temple. On sun temple, if I say that in Indian context, Indian temple was non-sectarian in character, you will be surprised. But it was, because besides the image in sanctum sanctorum to which the temple was dedicated, you find all the deities on the walls. In Shiv temple, Shivling in the sanctum, but on the outer wall you find Vishnu, Shakti, Kartikeya, and you may even find the Jain Tirthankar. This was like that, non-sectarian. So this shows their mindset they were doing. Because the king was patronizing, giving the fund. The acharyas were there just giving the directions, guidelines. And the common man was working as the sculptor, as the masons, as the laborers. So they were also contributing. We should, actually in most of the cases we have denied their contribution, or rather we are ignorant of their contribution. Only we know the pattern, and even lesser known is the contribution of the acharyas also. Only the Shastra, how many Shastras? We have Aparajit Pariksha. On the basis of that we identify the good images of all the northern India. Is it justified? No. On one temple we have hundreds of Shiva images with different attributes and in different forms. While one or two or three or four or 5 forms are there in Aparajit Pariksha. Do we think that only one text was there to guide? No. Several texts which are lost to us. So many things are lost to us, and we are trying to reconstruct on the basis of whatever we have, from known to unknown. The methodology has changed, known to unknown. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for the wonderful lecture and throwing new insights